¿Quieres que tu negocio crezca y todo parece indicar que el camino es Estados Unidos? Te dijeron que abras una LLC para que no pagues impuestos, mas no tienes idea de cómo hacerlo. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20.
Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world, you are watching NowMedia Television.
Hey, welcome to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager. We're here today on the NowMedia Television networks. I'm going to tell you, I've been working hard this week. I'm telling you, as a coach, I got a coach. He's been pushing me. So we're trying to come out with lead magnets. You hear these things to kind of generate clients and help people, gain trust with people like me, the coach. What we're going to do is talk about today is the three mistakes. The three mistakes that all small business are making right now that are keeping them from making their first $1 million in business. And number one is failing to define a clear strategy. As a business owner, you got to know exactly where you're going and why you're going. That's the most important thing. If you don't know where you're going, you're never ever going to get there, or as some may say, you're always going to get there. It's important for you as the business owner to have a defined map to understand that I'm here now and I want to get here. That's what's most important. So that's the mistake number one. Mistake number two is ignoring your customer. You've got to listen to them. And it's not ignoring them from when they're complaining and saying things are wrong. It's ignoring them from them telling you how they want to buy, why they want to buy, maybe what other product or service you could offer them to make their life easier. Those are the types of things that really help you as a business owner move and jump and scale your business. Mistake number three, and this one is most important, is overlooking operational efficiency. As a business, you have to become efficient. One of the things you notice, I didn't talk about nothing about marketing, even though we're going to talk about marketing later today. But you've got to be efficient in what you're doing as a business owner, because when you market and successfully land clients, operational efficiency is not what increases revenue, but it increases that most important thing, profit. And what my coach told me is this: here's what you need to look at. Revenues for your ego, profits for your pocketbook, but cash is king. Those are the things you got to look at. So as a small business owner, pay attention today. You're going to learn a lot. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide, here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia Television network.
¿Estás cansado de la inseguridad, la situación económica y de ya sabes quién? ¿Te gustaría salir de México y emigrar a Estados Unidos? Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años como inmigrante emprendedor en Estados Unidos. Sígueme en todas mis redes sociales para que juntos logremos ese gran sueño de emigrar y lograr conquistar el mercado americano.
If you have the perfect health insurance plan and you don't want to save any money, you might want to stop listening now. However, if you are like the rest of us who know that the number one cause of bankruptcy is unexpected medical costs due to subpar coverage, you really want to listen closely. Even if you owe 20% of your medical costs for a large claim, like cancer or a bad accident, it will wipe out the wealth you have worked for your entire career. That's why when it comes to choosing health insurance, it's important to get the right coverage for you and your family. I'm April Clark with Clark Health Insurance. My mission and passion is to simplify the process for small business owners, families, and self-employed individuals. Protect your health and start saving money on your insurance today.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and business guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television networks. All right, we got him. We got the man, the really tall man, Eric Harrison. Eric, how are you today?
Man, I am great. How are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. So Hey, I'm telling you, you've been watching some sports this week, haven't you?
I have definitely been watching some sports. Great sports.
Yeah, but there were some life lessons this week.
All over the place.
And everything that you're going to talk about. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about today? And then I want to go bring these sports analogies in to what we saw this week and what you're talking about.
So basically today, I'm just going to talk about something real simple, the opportunities that are connected to change, right? And we talked about the sports events that's happened this week, especially the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs. And we've seen so many things happen with so many teams where sometimes they look past their opponent right now and they find themselves in deficits or even out of the playoffs because they never looked at what was in front of them right there. And we often do that as business people.
It is. I think when I started today and I gave my 3 mistakes for business owners, strategy, ignoring your customers, and being efficient in what we do. So let's talk about it. I mean, here it is. We were watching the Celtics-Hawks game the other day.
Exactly.
Celtics have a chance to close this deal out. They're up by 16 points in the fourth quarter, and what happens?
Well, what happened was Ice Trey said, no, I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere. And that's the thing about it, is that when we look past what's in front of us right now, we have blind spots. And whenever you got blind spots, that means that something can hit you in that place that you don't see where things are coming from. And when you don't look at specific things that are right in your wheelhouse, right where you can touch them right now, then those things will come back to bite you. Most visionaries, and I'm a visionary, I'll look past what I got going on right now and forget about the details. But I'm telling you, when I do that, those details always come back to kick me into you-know-what.
Yeah, dude, that's me. I don't dot I's and cross T's.
Right.
That's why I have somebody on my team that dots I's and crosses T's.
Yes.
and that's,
Exactly.
you got to understand where you're at. I trained under John Maxwell and all that, and his 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. The first law is law of the lid.
Yes.
Know what you're good at.
Exactly.
Get better at what you're good at and outsource what you're not good at. Don't work on it. Unless you can make it a lot better, unless it's something that's really devastating you, don't work on it. Kind of go from there. All right, so as we saw last night, we saw, the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, this was like a Chris Webber moment all over again, wasn't it? I mean, the dude forgot how much time was on the clock.
Exactly.
They didn't even get a shot with a chance to win. So what happens in business, when we don't even get a shot because we're not paying attention?
Well, and again, it all goes back to just looking past the things that we have in front of us. So think about it. He's so busy thinking about winning the game and, hey, we're going to get to the next game and I got to do this, that he really didn't take the time to understand the circumstances and situations that surrounded him right then. He didn't know how many, like his timeouts, he didn't know how much time he had. He didn't know any of that stuff. And when you're not abreast of what's going on, number one, with your business, numbers wise, right?
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. Profits. We need to be making money. That's number one.
That's right.
Then the second P is your people. Like, you have to be in tune with the people that are with you, that work with you. Now, if you're not, then you need to make some changes. Or you need to put them in roles, whereas maybe they can excel in those roles and you may not be able to, jive with them as much, but at least they excel in something that you're not good at. Yeah. And the last thing is productivity. Productivity is huge. You have to be productive. Are you efficient in what you do? Yeah. How are you serving your clients? Where are you serving your clients? And that's usually in your day-to-day operations.
It is. You just forget the simple things.
Yes.
That's it. And the third, my favorite, I'm a bigger hockey fan than I am NBA fan. And my mentor, one of the guys, Carl Bryan, I love this time of year because I can make so much money. Because what I do is Carl will pick a game and I just call my bookie and go against it because Carl's going to lose. But he's passionate about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the other night, Tampa Bay was up on Toronto 4-1, 8 minutes left to go in the game. And they lose 5-4 in overtime. I mean, come on, scoring 3 goals in hockey in 8 minutes, man, that's a feat. It's total meltdown.
Yes.
It's you look at, there's 2 lessons here, I think. You got one is, hey man, there's a sense of urgency. And in business, we've got to have a sense of urgency. I was part of a company during the pandemic.
Yes.
And things were rocking and rolling during the pandemic. And they had no sense of urgency. And what happened? They lost, I think it's Law 4 from Maxwell's the momentum. They lost momentum. They had momentum. Urgent, 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 urgent. I want to fail fast. I want to go there. So we lost that sense of urgency. The Maple Leafs gave us that. But we go back again. The Lightning gave us, hey, we're on to the next game, baby. Let's just sit back and coast on home. Yeah. How when you're working with your clients, you're looking at transition, you're looking at change. How does sense of urgency and just kicking back and being way too casual, how does that fit in?
Well, the thing about it is, like I said, we've been talking about overlooking things and looking past things, and you lose that sense of urgency when you think something is far off. Really think about that for a second. If you're on a long trip, right, and you're on the road and you got to drive, let's say 7 hours, it's a 7-hour trip, you're only thinking about getting to that destination, but you're not thinking about all the places that you're going to stop along the way. And you're not even going to enjoy those places because all you're thinking about is, I got to get there. And when you think about getting there, the urgency is almost just on getting there and not on the things that are in front of you. We have to pay attention to those things. In that hockey game, when things started slipping, now you're trying to hurry up and back up and say, oh my God, we got to stop this momentum. But guess what? It had jumped on them. It was too late. They couldn't do anything about it. Now, the other piece you talked about, now this has happened. We've lost. We made the mistake. We did look out in the future too far. We missed some things. Now you have to have that bounce back. You have to have that resiliency to go back and be humble enough to have people like Michael tell you that you effed up. And once he tells you, you have to have the humility to go back, examine what you did, and change it so that you can do better next time.
Well, Eric, I think this is it. Momentum, it's... again, I this week I've been quoting John way too much, and I've been on a couple of podcasts, and
he's going to send you an invoice.
He should. He should send me a referral fee for coming out. He makes enough money, but when he talks about momentum, like when momentum's going, you better not stop.
Exactly.
Don't stop. When momentum's going, you better push harder and harder and harder and harder.
Most definitely. Because
what he says is momentum's like a train. You got a train going down the track, and it's got momentum. You can put up a 3-foot thick brick wall, and that train's going right through it.
Exactly.
That's your business. But the other thing about momentum is when you don't have it, you can put a 1-inch block in front of that train, wood block, and there's no chance you're going to get it to move.
Exactly.
When your business is crap, that's when it's time to go on vacation.
Exactly.
Not when it's rolling. When it's rolling, you need to be getting in there and go and go and go and go. And that's one of the most important things. Now, when you're coaching somebody, Eric, we got about 2 more minutes. We got to wrap this up. When you're coaching somebody, how do you get them going? What's your technique to say, hey, we got to go, or hey, this is a time to take vacation? Just go get back in your own head.
Well, one of the things I do is I call it the mall approach. And it's just very simple. First, when you go into a mall and say, hey, you want to get a very nice shirt, and you know exactly where you want to get that shirt from, where's the first place you go? You go to that nice big rectangular map, and you walk up to it, and it says, you are here, right? So once you know where you are in your business, exactly what you're doing and what's going on right now, not those big old audacious goals, what is it? The hairy audacious goals, the BHAG and all that. No, forget that. Where are you right now? What's going on right now? And once I see what's going on with my clients right now, then I could say, you know what? You're not doing so well. What's going on? Why is this happening? We may even get into some personal stuff sometimes. And I could suggest that trip that you talked about. Maybe you need to get away. Maybe you need to retreat, so that you can rediscover what the heck you're really supposed to be doing, and then come back and reconnect. Now, if things are rolling and things are going well, and I've had clients come to me and say, man, I'm so busy, but it's so stressful, it's crazy. Then what I tell them is this: it's just like a car. Now, I'm not talking about a Lamborghini or anything like that, but a car that you're pushing to the limit, and you're going about 120 miles an hour. I know you've never done this before, Michael.
Never.
But if you're going about 120 miles an hour in certain cars, you're going to feel it. It's going to start shaking a little bit. And it's the same thing with your business. If your business is pushing and that momentum is going faster and faster and faster, then what you need to be able to do is learn how to manage that vehicle better. Learn how to handle it a little bit better. So it's the same for your business. Find professionals and people like Michael who can come in, consult you, tell you what you need to focus on while you're moving that fast so that you can continue that momentum and continue to make money, which is what this is all about.
All right, buddy. How do they get a hold of you? Give them quick.
Very easy. Go to my website, www.expressyourperspective.com. All of my resources are there. All of my books are there, and all of my services are there. I specialize in helping people to transition from point A to point B. And along the way, I'll put a plan together for you, and you'll see the opportunities that are awaiting you.
All right, man. That's Mr. Eric Harrison. I'm telling you, best segment ever right now on Biz Talk TV. I'm Michael Rage, your business guide. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Según el FBI, un robo ocurre cada 13 segundos. Los hogares y negocios sin un sistema de seguridad confiable tienen 300% más de probabilidades de ser robados. Alert 360 proporciona soluciones de seguridad sólidas y personalizadas a clientes residenciales y comerciales, ya sea seguridad en el hogar, detección de incendios y monóxido de carbono, protección contra inundaciones, atención conectada para personas mayores, soluciones de vigilancia administradas por video, monitoreo de alarma las 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana y seguridad de personas. Alert 360 es su solución ideal. Además, Alert 360 tiene integraciones inteligentes para el hogar y el negocio, para una total tranquilidad, protegiendo lo más importante y reduciendo los costos de energía con nuestras funciones de programación automática de primera línea. Alert 360 ofrece descuentos en servicios de seguridad a personal militar, veteranos, primeros respondientes, educadores y personal hospitalario. No seas víctima, da un paso fuerte hoy. Llame a Rosana Torres al 832-863-8574 para su consulta gratuita.
Hi, my name is Elias Basabe, founder of Little Maria's Cafe restaurant in West Houston, located in 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Here you will find a family-friendly and relaxed environment where you can enjoy a delicious homemade breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We know you need to get to work fast, and we want you to enjoy a tasty, quality, and healthy homemade food. So come and visit us for a great nutritious meal at an affordable price. We specialize in tasty breakfasts, deli sandwiches, fish, even barbecue cookouts. Little Maria's Cafe has it all. We only use the great quality of bird's head meats and products. Just like you, we love to get you up early. Little Maria's Cafe is open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can dine in with us during breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or we can have it ready for you for pickup. Visit us today on the first floor of the CMPC Center at 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Order now at 832-667-8376, Little Maria's Cafe.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television Networks. And right next to me, I've got my good friend, Matthew Paul. Matthew, how are you today?
I am well. Thank you, Michael, for having me back again here.
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure. All right, we're going to talk about credit score.
Wow,
this is one of those weird things, man. We talked about scoring with with Eric a little bit and how score needs to be in sports. But let's talk about credit score in a business. First, can you tell us exactly what is a credit score and why is it important?
Yeah, so credit score is a numerical expression of your credit worthiness. So when you are going to a bank, when you are going to a financial institution, they are going to look at your past performance or past history and trying to figure out, will I get my money back? So basically they are trying to ask this question, what will I get my money back? How credit worthy are you? So that is exactly what credit score is. Now, there are two different companies that does the credit score. One is the good old FICO, it's called Fair Isaac Corporation Score, and the second one is called the Vantage Score. The Vantage Score is fairly new. And you have a range between 300 and 850 for FICO, and it's a little bit different scoring for Vantage. And based on your 5 different factors, you will get a credit score, and that is what the banks and the other financial institutions will look for.
So why do they look for it? And is it important to have a high credit score all the time, or does it, only important when I'm going to make big purchases? When is it important to make sure my credit score is up and down?
Yeah, so this is a very controversial topic because there are a lot of people who say that you need to have a high credit score. There are a lot of people who say that you don't need a credit score. So here is what I personally believe on that. Okay. I believe that you need a credit score until you don't need one. So you will get to a situation in life that you are not going to borrow any more money because you have your house, you have your car, everything is set and very well. Then you don't need one. But till then, you need one because you are always trying to borrow money to boost your business, to boost your personal life, and make sure that you pay all those things on time so there is not much interest coming on that one.
So as a business owner, are there two credit scores? Is there one on me personally and one on my company? Or how does that work?
Yeah, so you will have a credit score. Well, for personal life, obviously there is a credit score. You can go to 3 credit bureaus, the Experian, the TransUnion, and the Equifax, and you can get a credit score. For businesses, it is little bit different. However, there is not a particular scoring pattern, but what you have is the same 5 factors that these lenders look at. One is the history of the payment, the credit utilization. You look at how long have been having it, the types of debt and stuff like that. So that's why we always tell people that don't operate your business using your personal bank. You need to have a separate bank account for your business. You need to have a separate credit card for your business so that your business credit can improve.
Yeah, but it's amazing. I had a client right now that he's trying to get a business credit card and they won't give him one. And he's like, I got a 700 credit score. It's not perfect. It's not great. But, my business is here. We're rolling. We're making money. I want to be able to just defer payments just a little bit, on some things. How do they go to the banks and how do they go to these credit card companies and say, hey, I'm worthy. Give me the thing.
Yeah, well, most of the time, a line of credit may be better for a business to start. If they may have machineries, they may have assets, and if you can have a line of credit for the business, at least they're priming the pump. And at that point of time, you will be able to put more money and show that you are credit worthy, and then the banks will start issuing you more loans. But it's very rare that you will get a massive loan when you just start the business.
Yeah, one of the things that we coach is, go get a card, get $2,500, $3,000 limit, whatever it is. Every month, charge $1,500, $1,600 and pay it off.
Pay it off.
$1,500, pay it off.
See, that is where the lot of problems comes. You know what? Credit card is a tool if you know how to use it. But the problem is that in this country, we are approaching the highest credit card balance the nation has ever seen at close to $900 billion. And so look at this. The banks are not non-profit. They are there to make money out of the interest rates that you're going to pay or the interest you're going to pay. So if you can pay that credit card balance at the end of the month, you will have a pretty good credit score, you will have no interest paid, and you can defer your payments as much as you want.
Yeah, I know. I went through it during the pandemic. One of the major banks, I had a credit card with $35,000 limit on it, and I had about $12,000 in balance. My credit score was about 790 at the time. The bank knocked that credit limit down to 13,000 and knocked my credit score down 50 points and raised my interest rate 6%.
Correct. So that is one big factor, right? I mean, if you look at the 5 components, of credit score, what are the 5 components? One is the payment history, that you have complete control over of when you pay. The second one is called credit utilization. So when the banks bring the credit, which you will see over time, because we are heading into an economy where the economy is going to shrink and the banks are having a credit crunch, guess what? They are going to bring the credit down. You should be able to pay that thing off or keep the credit utilization at 30%. So if you are having a credit utilization, you need to start preparing right now to bring it below 30% so your score will not drastically drop.
Yeah. But me as a business owner, I was looking at it, it was totally unfair. You just dropped a massive credit limit down on me and then raised my rates. And we see these things, and it happens all the time.
All
And
the time.
as business owners, we need to be aware of that, and we need to be prepared. Because I wasn't sitting on a whole bunch of cash that I could have went in and said, hey, let me go cut this down. Because I teach my clients, Matthew, I don't know what you teach yours, but to if they're going to use a credit card and they're going to keep a balance, it needs to be less than 50% of the actual available credit. Because for some reason, banks want to give you credit, but they don't actually want you to use it.
Well, I teach them to use it below 30%.
Yeah.
I keep a 30% limit. Now, here is, again, I have to be very, very careful. If you don't know how to use the credit card, for the love of God, please stay away from it, because your life will be completely destroyed by the interest rates, by the interest you pay, the fees you pay, and all those stuff. So, if you do not have the discipline, if you know that you cannot pay it off at the end of the month, please stay away from credit cards.
Yeah.
Now, if you do have the discipline, and if you can pay it off at the end of the month, and you have complete control over your behavior and financial behavior, then always try to make sure that you charge the card and pay it off at the end of the month, so you don't pay a dime of interest.
Yeah, those are the things that really help you out. Are there other things that we can do to help us raise our credit score, both as an individual and as a business owner?
Well, again, we try the types of credit is a different option, right? So, a lot of people will go take a car loan, a house loan, and a little bit of credit card. So, when you have a spread of all those stuff, that will also help you with the credit score. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to one factor. You know your numbers, what is coming in, what is going out, what is your balance. If you are a family, sit with your significant other and go through it on a weekly basis. If it's a business, go through it on a monthly basis and see where you are and try to understand your numbers. You will be in a much better shape.
Yeah, it is. Again, get that line of credit. If you got it, use it, pay it off. If you're a business owner, I think it's one of the best things. Because things happen. I got a client that, hey, payroll's coming up, Mike, and I got $50,000 in accounts receivable that my client just called and said, hey, we're going to be a week late in paying. And it's like it's good to have that thing to fall back on and say, okay, we got it, we're going to use it, we're going to pay it off. We don't want to do it, but having a little bit of a buffer there, something there to help you, is a very important thing. Right?
What in those situations, Michael? What helps you is not a credit card.
No,
what helps you is a line of credit.
Yeah, that's we had a line of credit.
Every business, if you can have a line of credit open, you know what? You don't have to use it. You are not paying any interest if you are not using it. But in case there's an emergency, you can use it and pay it off when the client pays the money.
Yep. It's an important thing. So Matthew, if people want to get with you and sit down and figure out how to make the right credit decisions, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can call our office at 281-435-1888. If you are an individual or in a business, we will sit with you and make sure that your debt load is right. Your line of credit is all approved, and that you know your numbers very well, so that you can take control of your finances, your business, and your life.
Hey, I'm telling you, if you need help on this stuff, Matthew's the guy. My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guy here on Biz Talk TV and the NowMedia Television Networks. We'll be back right after this.
According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds. Homes and businesses without a reliable security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Alert 360 provides custom-tailored rock-solid security solutions to residential and commercial customers. Whether it's home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood protection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, 24/7 alarm monitoring, and life safety, Alert 360 is your ideal solution. In addition, Alert 360 has a smart home and business integrations like access control and video shield for a complete peace of mind, protecting what matters the most and reducing energy costs with our top-of-the-line automatic scheduling functions. Alert 360 offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Don't be a victim. Take a strong step today. Call Rosana Torres at 832-863-8574 for your free consultation.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television Network. Hey, it's time for Mr. Leo Simpson. Leo, how are you today?
Very well, Michael. Glad to be here.
Man, you're all red today, looking good. I think that's potential red, isn't it? Because that's what we're going to talk about.
It is potential red. Come on.
All right, let's talk about potential. You know, business owners, we're always talking about, doing what we need to do and getting there. Are business owners always tapping into their potential, or are they missing out on things?
It's interesting. I think about the question that people ask often of leaders, influencers, how do I tap into my potential? And a lot of the times the response that is given is that a story is told about how a person did it, right? And in response to your question, are they always tapping into their potential? Are they pursuing it? I think that in many instances, potential is being tapped into, but the truth is the way potential is being tapped into is not really healthy. It's not really intentional, and it's not really what's the word I'm really looking for? Sustainable and reproductive. And so, are they doing it? I would say yes in many instances, but it becomes this chasm of potential being something of an arbitrary reality. And a lot of times people don't think about it the way that they ought to. And when we think about it rightly, it can change the game for us.
Well, is it because we don't know how to tap into it? Is that the problem? I think we all know we have potential. We see it everywhere. We see it with our kids. We see it with our spouses. We see it everywhere. But is it that we just don't know how to tap into it?
So I'm going to say, of course, we don't know how to tap into it, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I think the deepest part is we don't really understand our potential. We don't know what it's made of. We don't really have the dynamics of potential as it pertains to what does it look like. And again, because most people see potential as arbitrary, there's this sense that we don't really give a scientific, very results outcome based approach to it. But I'm going to help you with that today. We're going to give you some very, specific, legitimate, scientific, structural approaches to how you look at your potential, which will allow us to understand what it's made of and how we are to look at it.
So what exactly do we need to know to tap into our potential?
First of all, we need to know the types of potential we possess. Okay. Now, before I even share the types of potential we possess, I'll talk about kind of how I came to this. Back in 2012, when I started with the John Maxwell organization as a certified teacher and speaker, that was around the time that John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth came out. And in the first chapter, the introduction, I think it was, he talked about, potential. And when he talked about potential, he talked about it from a perspective of, understanding, the tapped potential, right? The potential that's unfulfilled and things of that nature. And he gave this story about this man who died with the music in him and things of that sort. And as I looked at that, he didn't say this, but it became clear to me that we have two types of potential. We have unfulfilled potential and we have fulfilled potential. And when it comes to understanding the fulfilled potential and the unfulfilled potential, we've got to really know first and foremost that those are the types, but then understand how we get there. How do we get to fulfilled? How do we get to unfulfilled? How does unfulfilled look when we're born versus once we've already been living a while? And it starts with those two, but then there's some elements of converting our potential. And then those elements correspond to the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, which really was a huge piece of me coming to an awareness of what our potential is made of and how to predictably and intentionally, consistently tap into it with some very intentional authority.
All right, so now we've identified there's fulfilled and unfulfilled. How do we tap into it? I mean, what's the secret to diving in and hitting our potential? And then what keeps us from doing that?
So the secret, which is really not a secret, but it's a secret because we don't know it, is you've got to understand first and foremost when you're born, right, your potential is in the unfulfilled state. And as you begin to just engage the natural yet systematic and intentional process of growth, you end up tapping into more unfulfilled potential. So as we go, we actually start to live life at the fulfilled potential level. And what I communicate to people is what happens is we start to have this, thought process that fulfilled potential is all that we've existed in, which that's because we were not conscious during the times of our complete unfulfilled potential. Well, you've got to understand that our fulfilled potential is something that we're using and doing. And what happens is it always brings us to a door. The reason I call it a door is because a lot of times when we experience restrictions, challenges, and burdens in our progress, what we find ourselves doing is just thinking that something is trying to hold us back. That's not anything trying to hold us back. That's actually an indicator that we have now reached the door of unfulfilled potential. And now we're being called to a higher level of growth and development. So what happens is once you get to this door, you got to engage those three elements of converting your potential from fulfilled, or more so in this case, unfulfilled, to now fulfilled, because the fulfilled potential that you've used to this point, be it your skills, abilities, the things you've achieved, the results you've gotten, and the funds you've garnered, the capital you have, all those things are like a force and a foundation behind you as fulfilled potential. But they can't take you further unless you convert the unfulfilled potential into more fulfilled potential. And how you do that is you got to first unlock that potential. And 5 of those laws of growth actually deal with that. One of them is intentionality. The other is awareness. And when you begin to be intentional about awareness related to what it is that this new potential is trying to inform you of your capabilities, of things you haven't done before, as you satisfy all of those elements of unlocking that potential, that door is now open to you. Now you get to progress through your unfulfilled potential to a next level. So now you get to leverage this unfulfilled potential to stabilize it, position it to where now you can start to see it becoming valuable for you. 5 of those laws correspond to that. Once you deal with leveraging it fully and completely, then now you move to the level of maximizing that potential. One of the laws at this level is expansion. Now you get to actually release that potential that was now unfulfilled, and it's at that stage of now fulfilled to the degree that going through the full elements of conversion from unfulfilled to fulfilled, now where you have fulfilled potential here on this side, now it's moved to this side, and all you're going to be doing is now using this new converted potential from unfulfilled to fulfilled to move yourself further. I was trying to say 2 words at the same time, forward and further as it pertains to the context of your ability. So what happens is when you understand the very intentional process that your potential goes through to convert predictably over and over again, you will know that nothing ever comes to stop you. It only comes to advance you.
Well, I think right where you started there, and it kind of goes back to how we opened this show today, is one of the biggest mistakes that business owners make is they don't know where they're going. I can't put my potential in play if I don't know where I'm going to get there. And I know with some of my clients this past week, we got them going into reading Think and Grow Rich, and going into Think and Grow Rich, and I had them go into, and one of our mentors, Paul Martinelli, when he used to teach this book, he used to teach us to go read the chapter on persistence, 15 days in a row. But the most important thing was to go do what it told you to do in chapter 2 on the first day, and then keep doing it. And that chapter 2, I don't want to, give it away right now because you may want to do that, but that helps you understand where you're going and then start moving it forward. So when you start working with a client, Leo, how do you specifically get them to start going, hey, I'm here, I'm at a door. I need to either, sit here at the door and gain some more knowledge or gain some more skills, or, do I just need to kick it down and go through it? How do you help them do that?
No, you don't kick it down first and foremost, but we start with exactly what you were talking about. We get them clarity. And one of the ways we do that is we deal with the 2 clarity questions. What problem do I solve? Who do I solve that problem for? Which means you got to get into not just your why, but what it is that is going to fuel you in the exertion of your potential, and even the unleashing and the unleashing and the tapping into your potential. When you know what it is you're supposed to be doing, you know what's expected of you, you know what power you should be releasing, what skills you should be engaging, what solutions you are to be providing. When you have a clarity of that, then you understand how to really operate in the cycle of the fulfilled potential, converting the unfulfilled to fulfilled, because that's going to engage you. Your clients are going to position you to grow. Your solutions you provide are going to position you to grow. Everything is going to position you to grow in a very unique way. And so we start with those two questions. We start with getting you clarity about what you're doing, why you're doing it. Because if you're not clear about it, well, guess what? You're going to be moving by the seat of your pants. You're going to feel like you're on fire and just you're going back and forth. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to feel like nothing ever works for you. You're never going to be consistent. You're not going to stick with anything. You have to operate from that place of clarity. If you're ever going to move forward and not only tap into your unlimited, unfulfilled potential, unleash it at the highest level, the only way you can move forward is you've got to be clear, know what's expected, to do what's expected, when it's expected. And a part of that is telling yourself the truth and the clarity of the expectations for you.
Yeah, that's it. Clear strategy. So that's awesome. So Leo, we got to wrap it up here. How do people get a hold of you so they can figure out how to tap their potential?
Absolutely. Team3l.com. And we got a number of things going on there. Got some efforts you can support, but also tap into the on-demand content that we have with regard to family, business, life mastery. You can also jump over to the YouTube page. We've got a lot of content there that's valuable. Matter of fact, we got all of the past Biz Talk segments up there. So come in and just tap into what we have there and then jump into our community. You'll find yourself tapping into your potential there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a great community to be a part of, and you need to go in there and see what Leo's doing. All right, everybody, I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to be back with more right after this.
¿Quieres que tu negocio crezca y todo parece indicar que el camino es Estados Unidos? Te dijeron que abras una LLC para que no pagues impuestos, mas no tienes idea de cómo hacerlo. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años como empresario en Estados Unidos para que tú no te equivoques en los mismos errores que yo ya realicé. Sígueme en todas las redes sociales para que juntos conquistemos el mercado americano.
If you have the perfect health insurance plan and you don't want to save any money, you might want to stop listening now. However, if you are like the rest of us who know that the #1 cause of bankruptcy is unexpected medical costs due to subpar coverage, you really want to listen closely. Even if you owe 20% of your medical costs for a large claim, like cancer or a bad accident, it will wipe out the wealth you have worked for your entire career. That's why when it comes to choosing health insurance, it's important to get the right coverage for you and your family. I'm April Clark with Clark Health Insurance. My mission and passion is to simplify the process for small business owners, families, and self-employed individuals. Protect your health and start saving money on your insurance today.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, and I'm excited. We've got a new guest today. Linda, how are you today?
I'm good, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, Linda, give us like the 30-second spiel of who you are, what you do, and then we're going to get into some serious questions with you.
Sure. Linda Chung, CEO of Chung Financial Group and Debt Free Lifestyle. And what I do is I help people protect their loved ones and their wealth using insurance and other financial service products.
Awesome, Linda. Awesome, Linda. So we're coming in. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference. We want to understand the difference between a financial advisor and a financial coach. What's the difference between the two?
Very simply, a financial advisor is really focused more on investments. It's kind of like he is focused on products, and financial products could be a combination of equity, debt, different financial instruments. And they're licensed, special licensed to be called a financial advisor. A financial coach does not have to be licensed, and they're more about helping the person adjust or be able to manage their financial habits and behaviors and so forth. And I think a great financial advisor is a person who not only does the investments, but also does some coaching as well.
Well, how many financial advisors kind of fall under that realm of both being an advisor / coach, and how many just stay in each of their own lanes?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I have a lot of friends who are financial advisors, and they tend to either work with big companies or as like independents. But I think I would say the answer is probably a smaller percentage of them are financial coaches, because they're really focused on helping the people, not just kind of set it and forget it, kind of once a year, kind of annual review. It's more like an ongoing relationship with them where they're really involved and understand like a partnership, really. I mean, so that they know, at least then their clients know when to call them, and they're like, okay, well, I have a change, and what effect does this have, and more advice, kind of more holistic, and also life in general type of things.
So me as a small business owner, when do I need to look at both? When do I got to say, hey, you know what, I really do need a financial advisor, and you know what, I really do need a financial coach? How do I make the determination?
Well, financial advisors generally only work with people who have assets to manage. So that's kind of, there are certain thresholds, and that really depends on the financial advisors. Typically, that has been for people who have, I would say, at least a significant amount of assets to invest. There are certain minimum thresholds. Some of them vary by company. It could be a couple $100,000. Some of them could be a couple million. So what's the good news is that now with technology, there are actually financial advisors available to a broader range of people who might not have a huge amount of money, but they still have a little bit, either in a, maybe a extra, whatever, 10, 15, 25,000 little small nest egg that they're starting, that they want to have their money start working for them. Right. Or they maybe have some ongoing cash flow that they want to have put into some kind of program. So the good news is I think that it's becoming accessible to more people.
So if I was going to go find an advisor or a coach, where would I start looking, and how would you recommend that we start looking for either or?
Well, I always say, it's kind of like, do your research, and, there's certain ratings and so forth. There's also what I always recommend is, referrals from people who have, because that can speak, volumes as, compared to someone who's actually worked with someone. And I only refer people who I know, or I've either worked with, or I know other people who have worked with, because, referrals I take very seriously, and I don't want to just, everyone can do the research, but I think it's a combination of doing some research, asking for people who are also similarly have, in their interaction that they work with, like financial advisors tend to know trust and estates lawyers, tend to know other lawyers and so forth. And so, sometimes when I'm asking for a lawyer recommendation, on trust and estates, I ask a financial advisor, and vice versa. So you want people that, also have the authority and the clout to be able to refer people. So I think that's always a good place to start. And then the selection process of who's a good fit for you depends.
Yeah, exactly. I know as a business coach myself, I never refer one person in. I usually refer 2 or 3 out, because I know that people have worked with them. And then I let my client go ahead and they tell me which one they're going to use and why. And then we go ahead and we start parting and planning the strategy then. So when somebody wants to come in and use a financial advisor versus a financial coach, What should they look at as the key differences between the two? I know there's some education and there's some sort of say criterias and stuff like that, but what should they really be looking for?
I mean, it's very similar, I think, to a process like, because I was a corporate lawyer and how to pick a lawyer. You know, you want someone who has the experience and expertise. You know, so that's kind of a minimum, right? You don't want to be that first client, you know, generally. And then second, you want someone who you would like to work with, their personality, you know, it's like plus trust. And then also there are different people that focus on different areas, meaning or strategies or focuses. And you want someone that's kind of aligned with your goals and also your way of thinking. Because if you're kind of consistently, you know, if this person's like maybe into high growth, you know, which involves high risk, and you're not into too much risk, you're a low risk, it wouldn't be a good fit. You know, so I think also one of the other things you want to really understand how much time availability there is for them, you know, because you can have some of the best quality people, advisors and so forth, but if it takes maybe 2 or 3 months for you to be able to schedule a call for them, and that's not enough time for you, that you need a little bit more kind of hands-on, you know, you got to think about that as well. So
I'm going to give you this because I went through this in the last few weeks. Frustrations that people have with financial advisors. I know mine. I left messages on their email and it took them 72 hours to get back to me. And I know me as a client, that made me mad. So what do you think are some of the frustrations that people have with financial advisors?
I think it's good to, you know, it's kind of like, I think business a lot is like dating, you know, just have those kind of initial, don't be quick to decide on who you're going to partner with, and really just interview a lot of people. And also really have the clear, asking them if their, you know, availability is, they're not going to be available. You know, if you know, different people say, no matter what, call or text, I'll get back to you within 24 hours. You know, and you want to work with people who have that, if that's something that's really important for you, or if you can, it's not as, you don't particularly think you need urgent things on a regular basis, then, you know, within a week time frame or a couple of days, you know, that kind of relationship, then that's fine. But just asking those questions, I think is important. And you want to know, because you really want to also know who you're dealing with. You know, when I worked at a corporate law firm, you know, you could expect certain people that you'd be dealing with, maybe the named partner on the deal, or lead partner, or just junior associate or paralegal. Like, who are you going to actually be available? And not to say, you know, everyone has to be available all the time, but you really want to have that understanding of who can I call for X, who can I call for this, and just having that relationship. And also you want to know if you're dealing with really just a one-man shop or not, you know, and that if that person goes away on vacation or something happens to them, that's also something also very important to consider.
Well, hey, that's some great information. That's some great information, Linda. I appreciate it. So, if people want to get a hold of you and talk to you and you know, potentially hire you, how do they get a hold of you?
The best way, I think, is on social media, Instagram, Linda Chung Financial. I also have my website, Chung Financial Services. They can, you know, contact me through there. You know, I'm happy to reach out and help answer any of these questions. As I know, as a former lawyer and, you know, into financial services, there's always a lot of questions. And I think it's always very helpful to be able to just have that advisor type role for many people, because a lot of people don't have, and that kind of contributes to the problem. If you don't have someone that can call for these quick things, then they tend to kind of get out of control. Legally or financially.
I get it. Well, thanks a lot for the information. I'm glad to have you on here for your first show. I'm looking forward to learning more about you and what you do and how you're going to help their small business owners and you know, help everybody succeed. So thanks a lot today, Linda.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. This is Michael Rager, your business guide and host of Biz Talk TV here on the NowMedia Television Network. We're going to be back with more right after this. Well, that didn't go too bad.
According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds. Homes and businesses without a reliable security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Alert 360 provides custom-tailored rock-solid security solutions to residential and commercial customers. Whether it's home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood protection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, 24/7 alarm monitoring, and life safety, Alert 360 is your ideal solution. In addition, Alert 360 has smart home and business integrations like access control and video shield for a complete peace of mind, protecting what matters the most and reducing energy costs with our top-of-the-line automatic scheduling functions. Alert 360 offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Don't be a victim. Take a strong step today. Call Rosana Torres at 832-863-8574 for your free consultation.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
¿Sueñas con vender tus productos o servicios en Estados Unidos? Pareciera muy difícil, mas no es imposible. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años de experiencia promoviendo productos latinoamericanos en el principal mercado del mundo. Si quieres aprender más, sígueme en todas mis redes sociales.
Working, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Hey, what a show today, man. I wanted to show Michael Rager, your Biz Talk TV guide and, business guide, business coach. I'm telling you, we talked today about the 3 mistakes that business owners, they make. We started with it, failing to find clear strategy, ignoring your customer, and overlooking operational efficiencies. Today, we really talked about defining clear strategies. Whether it was your personal strategy, your business strategy, your marketing strategy, your financial strategy, your credit strategy, we covered it all today. These are the things that you, the business owner, needs to make. And these are the things that we want to make sure that you as the business owner, you understand. That's why we're here on Biz Talk TV. That's what it's about. We're here for you. Make sure you join us next week. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. We'll see you next time.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Según el FBI, un robo ocurre cada 13 segundos. Los hogares y negocios sin un sistema de seguridad confiable tienen 300% más de probabilidades de ser robados. Alert 360 proporciona soluciones de seguridad sólidas y personalizadas a clientes residenciales y comerciales, ya sea seguridad en el hogar, detección de incendios y monóxido de carbono, protección contra inundaciones, atención conectada para personas mayores, soluciones de vigilancia administradas por video, monitoreo de alarma las 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana y seguridad de personas. Alert 360 es su solución ideal. Además, Alert 360 tiene integraciones inteligentes